Successful people see opportunity in every failure. Normal people see failure in every opportunity. Both are right, only one gets rich. Bad things don't come in threes. Bad things happen, people don't know how to cope, and they allow one bad thing to snowball into more. Bad stuff sucks. The only thing worse is letting one bad thing ruin many good things. You once wanted the life you have, and if you don't like the life you have, you probably won't like the one you want, but don't have either. If you want revenge for the bad things that have happened in your life, start with the version of you that hasn't lived up to your potential. This is from Mark Manson. Why I hate being around negative people. Being an asshole is a weak person's idea of strength. Complaining is their connection. Never let yourself be held back by other people's fears. People criticize what they're afraid to do themselves because bold action reminds them of their own inaction. If you're afraid to be criticized, why do you care about the opinions of those who are too timid to do it themselves? If you are the criticizer, does tearing down someone who has the courage you lack make you better? We have this big nebulous term of anything, let's call it confidence. And then there's these component parts that confidence is made up of, and only by defining those can you actually bring it closer to you. Yeah, I think in terms of getting people past the paralysis of be confident, like what the fuck does that even mean? Where do I start? What are the component parts of confidence? Breaking down any big thing into small manageable steps is kind of the key to achieving large goals. Anybody that spends enough time crafting words and thinking about them precisely ends up having a very accurate view of the world. Find the others. Admit it, you aren't like them. You're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems that the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider. Watching normal people as they go about their automatic existences. For every time you say club passwords like have a nice day and weather's awful today, you yearn inside to say forbidden things like tell me something that makes you cry, or what do you think deja vu is for? Face it, you even want to talk to that girl in the elevator. But what if that girl in the elevator and the balding man who walks past your cubicle at work are thinking the same thing? Who knows what you might learn from taking a chance on a conversation with a stranger? Everybody carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence. Trust your instincts, do the unexpected, find the others. It makes great things seem closer than you thought and further than you thought at the same time. There's no perfect way to live your 20s. You either live them up and become an underskilled 30-year-old, or you work them up and become an underlived 30-year-old. You just have to figure out which you'd rather be, accept the trade-offs, and know that there are no do-overs. You really can solve a lot of male problems by getting in shape and making money. You still have problems, they're just smaller, and you have more resources to handle them. The world is there for the taking, for anyone who can learn from their mistakes, do what they say they were going to do, and stick with it, even if it's not sexy. What used to make a man acceptable now makes you extraordinary. The bar for winning has never been so low. Having a clue is overrated. There's this funny myth that people actually know what they're doing. I've spent time around some of the richest, smartest, highest status people on the planet, and let me tell you, it's idiots all the way up. Normalize saying, I don't have a clue, I'm going to work out how to do it anyway. Having a clue is overrated. People don't want to hear what they want to hear. They want to hear what you actually think about a thing. I have led a toothless life. A toothless life. I have never bitten into anything. I was waiting. I was reserving myself for later on, and I have just noticed that my teeth have gone. There is this strange feeling that one is not yet in real life. For the time being, one is doing this or that, but there is always the fantasy that sometime in the future, the real thing will come about. It's also known as deferred happiness syndrome, the common feeling that your life has not yet begun, that your present reality is a mere prelude to some idyllic future. This idyll is a mirage that'll fade as you approach, revealing that the prelude you rushed through was in fact the one to your death. It is a melancholy lesson of older life that you can no longer make old friends. Marie-Louise von Franz says, she calls it the provisional life, which I love. There is this strange feeling that one is not yet in real life. For the time being, one is doing this or that, but there is always the fantasy that sometime in the future, the real thing will come about. It's also known as deferred happiness syndrome, the common feeling that your life has not yet begun, that your present reality is a mere prelude to some idyllic future. This idyll is a mirage that'll fade as you approach, revealing that the prelude you rushed through was in fact the one to your death.